All right. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's Exploring by the Seat of Your Pants event. My name is Joe Grabowski, and I'll be your host for today. January is gone in the books. First month of 2025 is completed, and we are into February. Now, February, every year for the last 10 years, we've done the same thing. We have celebrated incredible, amazing women in science, exploration, adventure, and conservation all month long. And this month is no different. I'm so excited for this month's lineup. February is jam full of events. I think there'll probably be something like 40 live events for classrooms by the time February comes to an end. If you head to our website, exploringbytheseat.com, you can find all of the events listed there on our main page, on our lesson page. There's also an event page for women in science and exploration as well. So lots of places to find those events. And of course, each week we'll send out our update newsletters and on social media so you can find all the events that are coming up and being added as the month goes on. Well, we have to kick things off, and I can't think of a better way to kick things off than to spend a little time with Ruthmery Pillco Huarcaya. She is a Peruvian wildlife ecologist and National Geographic Explorer. She leads conservation programs for the Andean bear and cloud forests in Peru. She combines research, community engagement, and restoration efforts. She has over 12 years of experience in the field, collaborating on the protection of endangered tree species in Costa Rica as well. So we've also hosted Ruthmery with OSA Conservation, which is another group that we'd love to connect with and go into the field. But today, we are at the field station, the Huarcaya Cloud Forest Biological Station. So let's get Ruthmery in here live with us now. Hey, Ruthmery, how are you?
Hi, Joey. I'm very good. Thank you for having me here.
Great. Well, it's so good to have you with us. It was just, years ago, we had you joining us from Costa Rica, the OSA Peninsula. Last year, I was able to visit you at the biological station, which was really awesome. It's always great anytime we get to have you with us.
No, amazing. Thank you for having me here. I'm very happy to share what we are doing here in the Andes, in the cloud forest.
Excellent. Well, it is a beautiful spot. Rainy season right now, like you told me earlier, but that means everything gets nice and green. Let's let you take over for a bit. We'd love to explore what you do, what you get to do with your team.
Of course. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna to share my presentation.
Perfect.
Just give me a second.
Yeah. So while Ruthmery's loading the presentation, if you're tuning in via YouTube, don't be shy. Use the chat sidebar. Send in questions as we go along, and we'll work those questions in after the presentation. But I see the share screen. That looks good. Ruthmery, if you just want to hit the hide at the bottom, perfect. We're ready.
Okay, awesome. Well, this is the background you see there is my office, is the cloud forest. Before we start with Andean bears, I would like to tell you a little bit about me. I am a Peruvian biologist. I grew up in the high Andes, surrounded by nature. But somebody who was very important was my grandmother. She always used to tell me many stories about her experience when she was young, but however, no, on the old situation, she couldn't go out, she couldn't travel, she didn't have the opportunity to study, so she pushed me to go out to explore the world and study, and it's something I did. And since then, I've been doing lots of work, traveling from the lowland rainforest now to the Andes, climbing trees, something I really love. So I'm going to share you something now about where I am. So we are going to travel today down to Peru, a country in South America. We are going to go dig into Manu National Park, one of the most biodiverse places on the planet. My study location is just at the entrance of this park in the cloud forest in a place called Huarcaya Biological Station. So let me get that. So you might be wondering why is the cloud forest, as the name saying, is a place. It is covered by clouds the whole year around. So you can see here, no, that's where I am right now. We are in middle of the mountains, middle of the cloud forest. So the cloud forest is a place where the trees are not too big. They're quite twisted and they're covered in mosses. All the green things, they are mosses that they're capturing the cloud that is traveling all the way from the Atlantic Ocean. And they act like sponges. Now they're capturing this water and then they are taking back this water to the system. So the cloud forest is like the pumping machine. However, it's also one of the most threatened ecosystems, mainly climate change, habitat reduction, and things like that. So within these amazing ecosystems, we have an amazing creature living here, the Andean bear. No? The Andean bear is the only bear that we have in South America, and it was also the inspiration for Paddington bear, who traveled from the dark Peru to London, and now is back again to Peru. So Andean bears are very solitary species. They are almost the size of a black American bear. No, a male can weigh up to 150 kilograms. And what's characteristic for these bears are the white marking on the faces. No, in some cases they looks like glasses. No, that's why they're also called the spectacle bear. As I said, they're solitary species. The only time we can see more than two bears is when they are on mating season, or the man and the calf. So you saw where I am, all the mountains. If you ask me how many times I saw an Andean bear, in the 4 years I've been working here, I only saw them 5 times. So they are very shy species. We know they are around, no, because we can find this marking on the trees, on the camera traps, but they are very shy and very difficult to see. They are mysterious, and that's something I really like about them. So what we are doing here at Huayquecha, we want to understand the movements of the bear, no? How they are using the habitat across the mountains, and how they're going to be affected by climate change. But for that, we need to use science, and it's something I'm leading here with my team. We are placing camera traps. I'm going to tell you more about that next. And we're trying to also try to understand what the bears are eating here, no? And also how they're moving, how long they're traveling, how much area do they need to live, and things like that. But for doing that, I need a team. Now I'm gonna to introduce my team. Okay, just let me throw this. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Hello. I'm Ruthmery, and she's with Cuckoo, our working conservation dog. We are at Huayquecha Biological Station, a place where we receive researchers from different parts of Peru and worldwide. And now, me and Cuckoo are ready to go out to the field, but before, we would like to introduce you to our team. Let's go! Hola, Marina. Hola, Mary. Soy Merinia Mendoza, soy bióloga y soy encargada del monitoreo de vida silvestre aquí en Huayquecha. So she's Merinia, she's in charge of the wildlife monitoring here at Huayquecha. ¿Qué estás haciendo, Merinia? Acabo de instalar una cámara trampa porque hemos visto que aquí están pasando constantemente el puma y el venado de cola blanca. Wow, so this is a camera trap. So she's installing that here because she saw that the white-tailed deer and the puma is using this trail. ¿Y qué es una cámara trampa, Marina? Bueno, la cámara trampa es un dispositivo automático, utiliza baterías litio y es como si fueran los ojos del bosque. Sin perturbar, puede tomar videos o fotos a la fauna silvestre que por aquí esté pasando. Wow, so she said this is an automatic equipment that's work using batteries. We can let that on the field for a few months, and it's going to take automatically all the animals that are using the trail. It's like the eyes of the forest. ¿Y cuántas de esas cámaras tienen por acá? Tenemos más de 125 cámaras que están grabando diferentes proyectos como marcaderos del oso, dormideros del oso,
comederos del oso, en quebradas, no transectos y en diferentes puntos, también árboles.
Wow, so they have over 100 camera traps on the field. They're monitoring different things like behavior, like marking size, feeding size, how the animals are using the stream, so many things. That is a big work to do. Okay, bueno, muchas gracias, Marina. Nosotros continuamos con Coco. Nos vemos.
Nos vemos. Hola, Narciso.
Hola, Ruth.
¿Qué estás haciendo?
Estoy plantando de oso, de popó de oso esta planta.
¿De verdad?
Sí.
¿Cómo se llama? Let's introduce. He's Narciso. He's our local guide from the native community. He's been working with me about 3 years now. This is a wild blueberry. This is growing from Andean bear food. That's amazing. Look at how beautiful they are, how healthy they are. Narciso said that they were able to grow about 2,000 wild blueberries from the bear food, and now he's planting on the garden so we can harvest, but also the Andean bear. Gracias, Narciso. Bueno, sigue plantando.
Sí, sí. Gracias.
Gracias, chao.
Chao, chao, chao. Nos vemos.
Chao.
Hola, mi nombre es Luis Alberto, soy asistente botánico y en esta oportunidad tenemos un prensado botánico.
So he's Luis, he's our botanical assistant. He worked with plant and now he's doing some plant pressing. ¿En qué consiste?
Bueno, justo ayer tuvimos una salida de campo donde se colectó una planta, el cual está dentro de la dieta del oso. Entonces el oso come los frutos de esta planta.
So yesterday, Luis and the team went out to the field and collected this fruit. They're called cecropia, they're part of the bear's diet. Here you can see how the bear's been feeding on the fruit. ¿Y luego?
Bueno, también se colecta la parte vegetal. Justo esto es una hoja de esa misma planta, el cual se hace el prensado en esta prensa para su posterior secado en un horno y su posterior deposición en un herbario. La muestra queda de esta forma.
After, he also pressed the leaves of the plant using the threads, and then we dry the samples on the oven, and finally we send these samples to the herbarium. The herbarium is like the museum of the plant, so everybody can go there and identify the plant. Bueno, gracias Luis, nos vemos.
Gracias.
Hello, Marilyn. Hi, Ruth. Hello, everyone. I'm Marilyn, a wildlife veterinarian of Huayquecha Biological Station, and I work with the Andean Bear Project.
Y Marilyn, ¿cuál es tu rol?
Bueno, yo soy la doctora de los animales silvestres, principalmente del oso, y mi función es la de dormir al oso. Durante este procedimiento, nosotros tenemos la oportunidad de poder colocar este collar satelital en el cuello y así poder realizar el monitoreo de ellos. Asimismo, para poder mantener estabilidad del oso, nosotros realizamos monitoreos de sus parámetros vitales con un equipo como este, como pueden observar acá. Y por último, colectamos muestras biológicas como son sangre, heces, parásitos y todo tipo de muestras biológicas.
Well, that's amazing. So Marilyn oversees the tranquilizing and capturing process, so we can fit the satellite collars in the animals like the bear, so we can track the bear. But also during the process, she oversees the health of the bear using this equipment to see the health parameters. And finally, she's in charge of taking biological samples like blood, saliva, so then we can send these samples for a genetic analysis. Well, thank you, Marilyn.
Thank you, Ruth.
So this was our team, no? We are very diverse. As the video say, we are in the biological station. We have different researchers doing different things, having botanists studying plants, having veterinarians, seeing the health of the animals, and many things. But also something very important what we do here is we work with local guides, with local people from the nearest communities who help us during our expeditions. So in some cases, we need to take these horses, we need to cross rivers in order to place the camera traps, and also in order to monitor the bear that's already using the collar. You know? These expeditions could be challenging in some cases. The cloud forest itself is very difficult terrain to navigate, but at the end we are able to say this camera trap, as Merina said, they are the eyes of the forest. No? And Ukuku always doing her job in order to collect the bear scalp that later we analyze them. So thanks to these expeditions, we were able to place camera traps across the whole mountain from the lowland rainforest up to the grassland ecosystem, so we can know how the bears are using the habitat. And so far, we were able to identify about 50 bears. No? If you see the picture, you see the different faces. I really like that because they are like us, they are like humans, no? Like the different expressions. When we check the camera trap, you see the bears. Some of them are the angry bears that just go and push down the camera. The other bears smile in front of the camera, just like us. But also, they are very mischievous animals. No? So sometimes they play with the camera. They chew the camera, as you see on the window. But it's not only bears. The cloud forest is also home for many other species like this tiny deer, about 7 kilos. No? We call the Peruvian dwarf deer. Very beautiful animal, very difficult to see. I haven't seen yet. And we also have cats, like wild cats, like the pumas, all the way from the lowland rainforest to the grassland ecosystems. They're very amazing animals. We also have Andean foxes. No, they are like dogs. They are all around here. Sometimes we can see just walking around the biological station. We have this camp. No, they are very beautiful animals, digging the ground to find the maggot. And then we have the giant anteater. Was a beautiful animal with the long tongue that they can get in the holes and get the ant. We have also wild dogs lower down, like the short-eared dog. We also have the giant armadillo. They're beautiful animals, very difficult to see them. But if you are in the lowland rainforest and you see these big holes, the armadillos being around. Of course, the jaguars. Look at this couple was hanging out in front of the camera for an hour. How beautiful they are. The lowland tapir, also on the lowland rainforest, no? Near stream, near body of waters. So like this, we have many other species of wildlife living in these amazing ecosystems. So with the camera traps, we know how the bears and other animals are using the mountains, how they're moving, but we also need to understand what the bears are eating. So imagine, it's very difficult to see them. So the best way to study their diet is through the poo. So we need to find the poo, but even finding a poo in the cloud forest and in the grassland is very hard. So that's why we have Ukuku, our dog. This is part of the team that's helped to find the bears, no? To find the bear scabs. No? She always go out to the field, search for the bear scab, and then we can collect them and bring back to the laboratory for further analysis. So why do we care about bears? We know they're very cute animals. Who doesn't have a teddy bear? But it's the ecological role that they play on these mountains. So they're a good seed disperser. What does it mean? So they eat the fruit with a lot of seeds, and then they poo, and the poo is rich on nutrients and help to the seedlings to grow. And the bears can travel long distances, so they're moving the seeds from the mother tree to a different place. So they're helping in the regeneration of the forest. They're helping to maintain the diversity of the forest. They're the gardeners of the forest. That's why they're very important. It's something we are studying here. But then we still need to answer many questions. No? How long do they move in the day? How much they're traveling, where they're sleeping, where they're spending time. So that's why we have the team here in order to capture these bears, no? And we can place the satellite collars, and then we can know what they are doing. And in this particular case, we put this collar that have a camera, so we can see from the eyes of the bear what the bear is doing on the field. No, we don't know how long do they travel, how long they sleep, many things. And thanks to this equipment and our bears, we can answer many questions. See here how they are moving, no? The different bears. They're moving from forest to grassland. They have places where they spend a lot of time, but then they did this long expedition. But look at Ruru, how far he's moving, no? And here we can say the bears, as many other animals, they don't know about political barriers. They use the national park, they use Waikecha, community lands. So here is the importance why we need to work all together like a team with the government, the communities, the scientists, and everybody, so we can protect these incredible animals. And thanks to the color camera, as I was saying before, we were able to capture this amazing footage. See how the bear here on the Andes is feeding on wild blueberries. No? Just like us, they also like the berries. But they not only feed on berries, they also feed in many other plants like these bromeliads. The bromeliads are part of the pineapple family, and they're feeding on the leaves. They are very smart. You can see the plant is very spiky, but they know how to handle it. And they are arboreal. They climb trees. They go very high to find these epiphytic bromeliads and feed on them. Sometimes they can climb like 15, 20, 30, 40 meters high. And also they sleep on the canopy. Look at this bear, lower down, how it's crossing the rivers, how it's grooming itself. But most importantly, see how they're feeding on fruit. This is a big fruit with a big seed, and he's been feeding on that for about 3 months. Now the bear is very in the top of the tree, trying to figure out what to do for the day. Here, look, it's drinking also water from this bromelia. So they don't not only eat the bromelia, but they also drink water from that. So they are also carnivorous. They can also prey on animal prey, feeding on more fruits like their figs, some palm fruit. But the amazing thing was also, thanks to these cameras, we were able to see some interaction, no? How these bears also interact with other bears. So like here, look, there's another bear on the tree. And it's amazing. This is a female bear. So they were mating for a week. No, they had a courtship for a week, and they were mating up on the canopy and on the ground. And also they have some encounter with another male bear. So that is amazing. All the things we are learning about this bear, and there is a lot that we need to learn. More questions to do, and we are here at Waikecha to respond many of these questions. So that's my presentation.
All right, Ruthmery, thank you so much. I think the thing that always amazes me is they're around you in the forest, but so hard to see. I think you said 5 times you've seen them.
5 times in 4 years, and I'm looking for them. Yeah.
But then through the camera traps, you know that they're out there and they're doing their thing, but they're so good at hiding from us, which is probably good and what keeps them a little bit safer when they can avoid us.
Exactly, no? And that's the importance of technologies, how it's helping us to do science and to know more about these animals.
All right. Well, we're going to get to some Q&A in just a moment, but while you were presenting, Ruthmery, I made a quick Kahoot quiz that we're going to let our classrooms try if they want to. So give me just 1 second to load the right page. I think it's this one. Yep. And there we go. I am going to load up. So if you're in a classroom or if you're joining from home and your class would like to join us, you can go to kahoot.it. So the website is kahoot.it. And then it's going to ask you for a PIN number. Today's PIN is 3597889. Or if you're at home, you could scan this QR code and that will bring you right in. So if you want to play along a little Kahoot with us, it's 3597889. If you can't join us in the Kahoot with technology, that's no big deal at all. Your class could just join us via just shouting out your answers in the classroom and see how you do. So it's not a big deal if your group is unable to join us in like that, but I see a few classes starting to join us. That's great. We'll give it another minute. While we give them a minute to join, Ruthmery, I want to ask you a question about ecosystem services. So you mentioned that they spread seeds around the forest, which is a really cool service that they do. Is there anything else that the Andean bears do within the forest?
Yeah, so everything starts with spreading the seeds. So spreading the seeds maintain the help the forest to keep growing, to maintain the diversity, but at the same time, that means a healthy ecosystem that provide water. So when you have more forest, there is more water,
Yep.
and water not only for the animals living there, but also for the communities living nearby. So in many cultures, especially for our Andean culture, they are also called the guardians of the water, the guardians of the glacier.
Okay, very cool. And then what about, I know in some rainforests, some animals are ecosystem engineers. When they make their way through, they kind of push things aside, make spaces, things like that. Do the Andean bears do something similar when they move through the forest?
Yes, so here in the Andes, they are quite of the big animals that we have here. No, if we go lower down, like they have many other sea dispersed, like the tapirs, monkeys, but here is we mainly rely on the bears and some bird species. But also because the bears are quite big and they are arboreal, they climb the trees.
Yep.
In order to get the fruit, they break the branches. So this,
Okay.
when they're breaking the branches, they're also making gaps. So allow the light to get in the understory, and this light help the seed that they're sleeping on the ground to wake up and keep growing.
All right. Well, I think we're ready to play some Kahoot, and then we'll do some questions. If you are tuning in via YouTube, don't be shy. Now's the time to put some questions in the chat sidebar. I see a couple already. But let's play our Kahoot, and then we'll get into the questions. So here we go. It's going to count us in. You have 20 seconds for each question. There's some true and false and some multiple choice today. All right. First one coming your way. Where is Ruthmery joining us from today? Is it Ecuador, Colombia, Peru, or Brazil? So Ecuador, Colombia, Peru, or Brazil? You've got a few seconds to lock your answer in. Oh, good job, crew. Most went with Peru. That's absolutely correct. Let's go to our next question. We'll look at our leaderboard. We got the amazing Falcon in first place. We got a true and false coming your way. Manu National Park is one of the most biodiverse places on the planet. Is that true or is that false? That Manu National Park is one of the most biodiverse places on the planet. Got about 10 seconds to lock your answer in. All right. Absolutely true. Very cool. I had the pleasure of visiting the cloud forest and then down in the Peruvian Amazon. It was one of the coolest places I've ever visited. And Ruthmery, I don't know if I told you, but I saw my first wild jaguar down on the river, which was so cool.
Oh, that's amazing. You told me about the harp eagle, but not the jaguar. No.
Yeah.
I've been working on the lowland rainforest about 12 years, and I only saw one. So you were very lucky in your first trip.
I feel very lucky. It was pretty cool. Okay, so what did that do? The green yeti is in first place. Another true or false coming your way. The Andean bear is one of 3 species of bears in Peru. Is that true or is that false? The Andean bear is one of 3 species of bear in Peru. True or false? All right. Good job, crew. That's absolutely false. There's only 1 species of bear in South America, and that is our friend, the Andean bear, also sometimes called the spectacled bear. So that could maybe lead to some confusion, but there's just 1 species of bear in South America. All right, Green Yeti, holding on. 2 more questions to go. How many times has Ruthmery seen Andean bears in the wild? Was it once, 5, 10, or 15 times? How many times has Ruthmery seen an Andean bear in the wild? Okay. Yes, that's right. That's 5. I just think that's incredible. These rainforests are so big. It's so hard to explore them. But 5, I think, is pretty amazing. I think you're probably up there with the top.
I am actually. There is one colleague research studying bears for over 20 years, and he haven't seen one yet.
Wow. I can see, amazing. Studying something for 20 years and not having seen it in the wild is just wild. A real testament to the way they're able to, avoid us if they want to. Okay, blue leopard stealing the top spot. Last question. The bears are observed by using camera traps, GPS collars, checking their scat, or all of the above. So how is the team observing the bears? Are they using camera traps, GPS collars, checking their poop or scat, or all of the above? Got a couple more seconds to lock in that final answer. All right. Okay. So everybody who picked camera trap, you're right. Everybody who picked GPS, you're right. But all of the above is the best answer. I know it's tricky with Kahoot. You want to get your answer in as fast as possible. But in this case, the best answer was all of the above. So I bet you that shakes up our leaderboard a little bit. In third place, we have the inspired wombat. In second place, we've got the blue leopard. And holding down that top spot, the daring otter sneaking in at the end and taking the lead. Very cool. Well, shout out to our classrooms. Thanks a lot much for playing a little Kahoot with us. I'm going to turn down that music and we're going to get to some Q&A action. Like I said, use the chat sidebar if you have any questions. And we'll get started, Ruth, right away. I've got a couple questions about the GPS collars. I've got a student here who's wondering, do the bears ever try to take them off?
Not as we know. So the cool thing about these collars is that they have a drop-off system. That means when we, from the beginning, we program the collar to drop after a certain period of time. In our case, after a year. In case of the camera collar, after 3 months. So they don't carry for long the collars. Mm-hmm.
All right.
But certainly, no, they're quite curious. So perhaps they've been trying to pull off the collar. We don't have doubt about that.
Yeah. Okay. Very cool. So another question about the cameras on the collars that we saw. It's what is maybe the most surprising thing you've ever seen in the video clips from those collars?
The mating. So there is not much information about Andean bears comparing to their cousins. All the bears in the world is the less known species. So we know mating only from zoos, but we didn't know about the wild. It was a crazy story because we need to find the collar in order to retrieve the video. So we were searching the collar for about a week, crossing the rivers, but finally we found the collar in the middle of the forest. We back very dark on the day. We don't have electricity here at Huarcaya. So first we need to make sure that we have a copy of all the videos. So we wait about 5 hours to get the copy. And then we saw the camera actually works and the picking out random videos. And I picked this one and I saw 2 bears on the canopy and they were kind of playing, chasing each other, and then they were mating. So it was just amazing. And the amazing thing is they were mating on the trees. So they are very like wild animals. This was just incredible for me to see that.
Yeah, risky being up there in the treetops.
Exactly.
All right, very cool. Okay, so a question about, you just mentioned that you don't have electricity. So this question's about what's the hardest thing about working in the middle of a forest, a cloud forest?
Is hiking. So it's very steep, and the places, the bears, like they're either down the valley or in the very top, in the very steep area. So in order to find where they're sleeping, we need to go there. So it's very challenging to go to these places. And we need to carry all our backpack with the GPS, the camera, our food, in some cases, our tents, our hammocks. So you go very loaded, our knees, after that we can feel our knees. So it's very challenging. But when you see the bear, everything just go there and say, you're so happy after all the hiking you did, and you can see the bear, or just to see what the bear's been eating. No, so we kind of play like to be the how do you call the I forget the word, but kind of try to inspecting, no,
Okay.
see what
Yeah.
the bear's been doing.
Yeah, very cool. I know they leave evidence behind. So when I was in Colombia, I was really, really hoping to see an Andean bear. And we were up hiking in an area, and we found some bromeliads that the bear had ripped apart and was eating, but it must have been like the day before, so I didn't get to see the bear. But I'm sure you look for evidence like that, like the scat, but then also they're kind of messy eaters too.
Exactly. You know, we always trying to find for some evidence, also where they're sleeping. No, it's incredible. They make nests either on the ground or in the canopy, but they're very smart. They always try to choose the highest tree so they can have the whole view of the area. Or if they are sleeping on the ground, they find the steep where can also have a view of the area. So they always are alert. So sure, they see us before we see them.
Yeah. Okay, I've got a question about the furry friend on your team. How did you train your dog to find the bear poop? Was it hard?
Yeah, it was very hard. No, it's something new, at least here in Peru. So first, I started watching YouTube videos. First, to find the best dogs who can do the work. Not every dog is good for that. So I went to a shelter in Cusco, and I took my tennis ball and I threw. There were about 40 dogs. My dogs, the Ukuku now, she was the only one that was fetching the ball, no, all the time. She didn't get tired. So immediately I know she's the perfect dog to train. And then I got a bear cat from the zoo that we have in Cusco. And then it's a long process, no? But just showing my two hands and say which one has the smell, and she put the nose in the right one, she get a reward. And then start hiding the poo like in jars, in the gardens, then going up to the park, and finally coming here to the forest. No? So it was a long process, but she does a good job.
Yeah, I got to meet her last year as well. It's very cool. Okay, the collars, we saw the collars, but I have a question about how you catch the bears to put the collars on them.
That's a good question. So that's why we have the whole team here, having the local guy or veterinarian as the biologist. So we place these big metal cages on the forest with bait. It has a pulley system. So when the bears get in the cage, he pull the meat, and the doors close, and the door is attached to what we call track transmitter, satellite track transmitter. So that transmitter sent us an email message or any message saying something is being in your trap. No, your trap has triggered. So the whole teams go, and then we arrive, and most of the cases are false alarms because branches can fall or things like that. When it's the bear, we tranquilize the bear using a dart, no? And then we make sleep the bear. We have about 30 minutes to wave the bear, to take samples, to place the collar, and then the bears wake up, and then we follow the bear for a little bit to make sure it's in good conditions, and then it's go.
All right. And then is the veterinarian with you? What do they do? What do they check on the bear?
Yeah, the veterinarian is the whole time with us, you know, make sure that the heart is in good condition, you know, all the system is in good condition, takes blood samples, see how the bear is doing. So it's monitoring. It's like the same as we do with humans, no? When somebody's having a surgery or thing like that, making sure the bear's in the right conditions. Mm-hmm.
All right. And last question for you that I have here, Ruthmery, is when will you be going out in the field again to look for the bears?
This afternoon. I almost go every day to the field. So I'm going this afternoon. We have one bear with collar that is quite nearby Waikecha, just going down to the river, like maybe 2 hours. So we're going to see if we can see her, or at least to see what the bear's been doing in the area.
All right. Well, we're got our fingers crossed for you for sighting number 6 today. So I hope you get lucky out there and you see the bear. I want to start off with a huge shout out to our classrooms. Thank you so much for joining us today, sending in those great questions. Thanks for playing along with the Kahoot. And Ruthmery, thank you so much for letting us steal a little bit of your time. I know things are... Oh, actually, I've got one more question. I got one more question that just popped in via YouTube, but I'm not sure. Do you have Andean condors in the area?
We don't have Andean condors, no. Not in this part of the area. They are a bit higher, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Well, Ruthmery, thank you so much. It was so great to have you live with us. Thank you so much for sharing the work you're doing. The videos were really cool. It was great to meet your team. And good luck today and in the days coming up. I hope you see that collared bear.
No, thank you, Joy. Thank you, everybody that's been with us in this live session. Something I didn't mention also, we do the science part, but we also have our ambassador conservation program, where we bring children here to Huarcaya and we show around the cloud forest, teach them about the Andean bear. So they are our conservation ambassador, but also I would like you to ask to be our conservation ambassador, share the word about the cloud forest, about the Andean bear. Also, visit nature, go to any park you have nearby. Don't lose your curiosity. You see something, always ask yourself questions. That's how science starts. No, it's a big world. We have climate change, but I think there is a hope. We always say the children are the future, but I believe they are the present and the future. So please spread the word, connect with nature, listen nature, be curious. And thank you so much. It was a pleasure to meet you all.
All right. Absolutely great advice. I hope students go home today and they tell friends or family what they learned. That's the easiest thing you can do to help spread awareness and help with conservation. And yeah, get outside and see something new. That's something that I love to do. And I'm sure, Ruthmery, you see new things in the rainforest all the time. Plants, animals, insects. What an amazing place for your office to be.
Exactly. So many things to discover, so many things out that we haven't seen yet. And we need more people for that.
All right. Awesome. Thank you so much. I hope to see your classrooms joining us in events throughout the month. But for now, we're going to say goodbye. Thanks so much, Ruthmery.
Thank you. Bye.
See ya.